Hello and welcome back to Spanish Fanimation. I am your host, Dennis Patholkas, and this is Happy, Season 2, Episode 9, Five Chicken Fingers and a Gun. And yeah, I thought that was kind of a weird title until I got all the way through it. So I'm going to try something a little bit different tonight. So bear with me on this one. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode though. If you haven't seen the episode, go and watch it. This will be a video. You can come on back, watch it, and you can comment down below in the comment section. Um, so basically I'm just kind of gonna go over some highlights of what was in this, what I liked, what we found out, that kind of thing, and overall kind of how this was in this series. I mean, so far the second season hasn't been that great. Hey Morks, how's it going? Um, it's been really a lot more miss than hit, and it's kind of going back on the rails, which it should have done a while back, especially this being the penultimate episode. Uh, Slurmy Scott says you have the chat. No, you don't have your chat to yourself, Slurmy. You have Morks with you. So, and Morks always disagrees with you. No, he doesn't. So, of course, we got Nick back to, hey, and Pen Farm Girl. Hey, how's it going? So, we got Nick back to his drinking ways, of course, drinking cough syrup. Um, Amanda is finally back to herself as well after she's given birth to these weird Super Bowl kind of things. They basically look like fish eggs, like giant fish eggs, only with little small wishies inside of them. She gave birth to a whole bunch of them, which she ends up burning, much to Orcus's dismay. Orcus was not really having that. And she also takes out the wishies as well, which I kind of thought was interesting. And Orcus says something interesting. He says that he doesn't even know how these wishies will evolve. So it's kind of like at first he made it seem like he was actually in control of the wishies, but now I'm not so sure because there's something else that comes into play near the end where Haley actually meets him in her hotel room and says that he's not the boss, that someone else is the boss. That's why she's not afraid of Orcus, which really makes me wonder now what the hell is going on, because now it seems like they just kind of switch shit up in the near the end of this, and literally you have one episode left. Next week is the season finale and most likely the series finale. It's not getting good ratings. SyFy has not said whether or not they are renewing it or not. Also, Deadly Class, we haven't heard anything about either. So, yeah, some really bad shit about this show. We don't know if it's coming back or not. Um, yeah, it's I don't know. And then of course we get a little bit about Smoothie as well. Um, I don't know. We'll actually get more of Sunny Shine than anything else. We have his first interaction with the wishies, how they showed up to save his ass essentially when he was going to get killed in the park, after being drunk and celebrating him getting his first children's show. And yeah, that was back in 1995. um we know that Easter is right around the corner here. We even have Meredith ends up going back to talk to Bianca, and we find out that Bianca is dead. She actually Orcus came in and had her kill herself using her knitting needles, decapitating herself, which was an interesting scene. Watching her, using the knitting needles after she wrapped the scarf around her head and just taking the knitting needles to her neck and decapitating herself. So yeah, Penn Farm Girl says, I thought she was under the impression Sunny was in charge. I don't know, Penn Farm Girl. That's the whole thing. I don't know if Haley knows more than we do at this point or what's going on. And that's what's kind of weirding me out about this, because the way Orcus even played it was kind of like that she was right, or maybe he was just kind of placating her, telling her that yeah, she was right and she found him out and everything. I don't know, which is what's really kind of weird about all of this. Um, Nick, of course, has Amanda now back. Amanda's back and pissed off, and she beats the shit out of Sunny or out of Smoothie. at one point to try and find out where Haley is. And we also find out how Happy came into being is when a 4-year-old Haley asked Amanda who her father was, and she told her truthfully, I don't know. And she says the next day, that's when Happy appeared. That's when the first drawing of Happy. And Amanda actually had seen Happy a little bit in the fire and had heard him. Well, she actually said his name, Happy, and he heard, said Amanda, and she didn't hear him, but she could see him. So, am I disappearing again? No, I'm actually good. I don't know. Maybe something's going on with you, Slurmy. I don't know. Yeah, I hope the end makes sense. What about Happy's powers? Yeah, so that was the other thing too, is that Happy and Orcus meet for the first time, and Orcus can see him, and he goes, "What the hell are you?" And Happy says, "I'm an imaginary friend," and Orcus says, "Oh, you're just like me, only I'm all about death, and Happy is about love." And free love, obviously, because he gets an entire hospital staff to get it on. And yeah, there's all kinds of free love going on in that hallway. And he ends up having he actually has to push Meredith off of him and throws her into the elevator to get her away from him. Yeah, that scene was not pretty at all. There was actually some blurring out going on too in some of the scenes. Yeah, that's all I can say was the guy on guy stuff was kind of blurred out, which thankfully, that's all I can say. Um, yeah. But yeah, so Happy has powers. Happy is on the same level as Orcus at this point because we haven't really got into what imaginary friends are. That's the other thing as well. They've touched on it here and there in the first season and a little bit in the second season, but they haven't really done anything talking about that. Uh yeah, it's really weird. Hey, thanks, Moo Finobi. Yeah, I know your guys on the East Coast, need to get up early and all that kind of stuff. So, um, yeah, so we end up having, Amanda gets a call that Haley is at school and she needs to go there. And of course, who do they run into but Smoothie? And Smoothie is just fucking with them the entire time, saying that they need to wait. Basically, he's not going to tell them where Haley is until a certain amount of time has passed, which of course is when the Sunny Shine show is going to be on. We already know this. And she, in the meantime, is actually waiting in her room in this hotel room that Smoothie has gotten her, and she's got a VIP pass and all that stuff to go to the Sunny Shine show. So we end up, of course, like I said before, Orcus comes to her room and gives Haley a little bit of a pep talk, if you will, saying, "At first, I didn't think you were right for the job, but you are. You are right for the job." And he says, "You can't get back whatever was stolen from you, but you can make it right," is what he says. And he goes, "I'll leave you to your dinner." And when she lifts up the tureen, we find 5 chicken fingers, a gun, and a and a VIP pass, which I thought was kind of interesting. That was an interesting way of titling the episode in such a unique way to make you wait until the end to actually find out about that. Hey, Joe Greer, how's it going? Uh, he used the same term as smoothie. Correct. Exactly. Exactly, Pen Farm Girl. He says you can correct things. You can't get back what you lost, but you can correct things. Is what Orcus told her, which is what I believe he told Smoothie. So Smoothie is on the same page as Orcus at this point. The other thing that we got was Meredith. Meredith had gotten a pawn ticket from Bianchi and went to the pawn shop, turned it in, gets knocked out, wakes up to this group of women. And we also found out that Orcus said something to Bianchi kind of cryptic about her sisters. Will never. He has a message for her sisters, and she kind of curses him, if you will. And he's kind of laughing it off, and he kind of waves his hand. That's when he gets her to kill herself. That was the whole leaving a message for her sisters. Well, we find out that her sisters are really in the pawn shop. It's all women. They have Meredith and they know who Meredith is, and basically tell her that, when you were a cop, you didn't have a sense of right. You didn't know, you were corrupt, is what they say. And Meredith says, yeah, I didn't know what I had until I lost my badge. She goes, now I see the evil in the world like everyone else does. And the sister, well, the woman asks her, she says, do you know what evil is? And she equates it to a virus invading cells and all this kind of stuff, that they need to get it out. And they have this red, or excuse me, this little round metal ball that they heat up so it's white hot, or red hot, if you will, and put it in Meredith's hand and burn her hand. And they say now she's been inducted into the blue feather. So that's what Bianchi's gift was to her, was to induct her into the blue feather. We don't know what the fuck the blue feather is, but why not introduce a new group before your penultimate episode, in your penultimate episode, before your final episode of the season and possibly the series, when you could have done this about fucking 4 episodes ago? This is what kind of pisses me off about this, is they really, really wasted a lot of episodes in between setting up, and now we got some really good, interesting stuff, but you're never going to get to it because you wasted what you were doing there. Slurmy Scott says Dennis would like us to give our feelings and opinions during the stream, not just at the end. If I understand his instructions, Sunnyshine. Yeah, I mean, everyone talks during the stream. That's fine. I don't mind that. I usually either talk while I'm doing it or I get back to it at some point in time. So that's good. Either way. Joker says, Dennis, I was going to share you a link to a YouTube channel, I believe Spoiler TV, that has a teaser Legion trailer. Oh, yeah, I know there's a trailer that's up already, Joker, for Legion season 3, for the final season. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, I disabled links on the chat. Sorry about that. I really did. So, but yes, I know which trailer you're talking about. It's a good trailer. But back to Happy. Um, so it's just kind of a weird way that they have the next to the last episode of putting all these new players into effect, and also these new ideas, if you will, that Happy is just as powerful as Orcus, and that Orcus and him are the same. And now that Amanda can kind of see Happy, and we kind of get an idea of how Happy came into being as well. There's a whole bunch of shit that just kind of get loaded onto us at the the next to the last episode. So why do that now? And honestly, you've also taken away from the Sunny Shine character in this episode, who is demoted now at this point. Orcus, of course, took over the TV station with his prisoners, his escaped prisoners. He had all the TV execs killed, and the prisoners have taken over the TV studio. They're still going to go on with the show. Sunny Shine actually does a pre-show interview with some TV, I guess, personalities or news personalities or whatever it is. I think it was more like, I think it was supposed to be like YouTube personalities is what it was supposed to be. They weren't really too clear on that one. And they're even questioning whether or not his career is over with or not. And he's denying all of this, of course. So, um, yeah, we don't know. Uh, There's no such thing as free love. Somebody always pays. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, that was pretty much what was going on here. So we had some interesting stuff, like I said. Orcus and Happy on the same level. Um, Happy didn't come into being until a 4-year-old Haley asked Amanda who her father was, and the next day that's when Happy emerged. Um, and the blue feather. Who in the hell are the blue feather now? Well, we don't know. So this is, and then also, what is Smoothie's end game on this with Amanda and Nick? Because he even said, Amanda goes to threaten Smoothie at one point in the taxi cab, and he says, "You're not going to do anything." He cuts her off, and basically, all you're going to be doing is buying razor blades and running a warm bath. You're not going to be thinking anything about me. Basically, saying that she's going to kill herself, and it's like, wow, that's pretty damn harsh. So Jimmy Olsen's Blue says, I haven't seen the episode yet. I work nights. Server is down. Oh, man. Sorry. So, a decent episode, but again, a couple of episodes too late. They should have worked this in a lot sooner and gotten rid of the dead weight episodes that were just had us spinning around doing nothing. This is more adding to the story is what's going on, and yeah, I'm afraid the series is going to get canceled. Quite honestly, so I'm not happy about it. But at the same time, they kind of brought it on the well, they did bring it on themselves by not giving us this kind of storytelling earlier on. That's all it was. I mean, you have 10 episodes, you don't waste four of them doing nothing. Quite honestly. I mean, sure, you had some great visuals in it, but you didn't know where you were going with it. And then to bring in another storyline at the end, with the blue feather and all this, where the fuck are you doing this? So, what everyone else thinks? Everyone else like the episode or what's going on? Sitting here. You guys are talking everything but the episode now in here, except for Penn. Penn and I were talking about that. Yeah. You liked it? Hey, Filthy News. You liked a Penn Farm Girl? Yeah, like I said, it's good to have Amanda back to normal, exactly. And again, this should have happened a couple of episodes ago. So, oh man. Filthy News says I don't watch, but I think I would. It's really crazy, Filthy. Watch the first season if you haven't watched it. The first season's really, really good. Second season, not so much, but it gets better again, like episode 6, 7, 7, somewhere around there. Yeah, season 1 is really good, but it's based on the comic series. Yeah, I want an explanation on Happy's powers next week as well, Pen Farm Girl. Yeah, I agree with you. And I hope it actually does have an ending, like a actual ending, if you will, to this part of it, because the way they've kind of built up so much stuff now, I don't know if they're going to be able to get through it in an hour, to tell you the truth. So, yeah, I'm not too sure about that. But so if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button. If you don't like what you see, you can hit the dislike button. I just ask that you go down in the comment section. Tell me what it is you don't like. You know, give me some constructive criticism. There we go. You can also hit the bell when if you want to see when I'm going to be on live again next. You can hit that bell. Don't hit it if you've already hit it before, because it will unclick it. You can go into the bell settings and get as many or as little notifications as you want. So, do we root for Sunny to die or survive? Pen Farm Girl asks. That's a good question. I think he served his purpose, quite honestly. I don't want to see more of him. I really don't want to. I want to see more of Smoothie, but Sunny, I think, needs to go because he started getting old. It started dragging on the whole shtick. And if he's going to be the foil for every season, which is what it looks like they're doing, is they're doing seasons, I don't really want him doing this because it's going to drag, quite honestly. Mr. Roboto, how's it going? I asked a while ago, but it got lost in chat. Really? What'd you ask, Morks? Did I skip over something? No, I didn't see anything. Okay. There we go. Pen Farm Girl says, I don't want Haley to kill him. If he dies, it's supposed to superpower. Yeah, exactly. Well, what it does is it makes Orcus's it creates fear or hopelessness is what it does in humanity. And if it creates hopelessness in humanity, it powers up Orcus so he can live on. And that's what the whole thing's supposed to be. He is supposed to be despair, is what this whole thing is all about. and that's why they were talking about Martin Luther King and JFK, Lincoln, all that kind of stuff. When those people die, that he brought it brought people up when they were alive, and then when they were killed, it brought people down in despair. So that's what his whole thing is supposed to be, is about giving humanity despair and feeding off of it. Work says, if you think they're going to be able to wrap up, or will it end in a cliffhanger because it seems like it will not get renewed? That's a good question. I don't think they're going to be able to wrap it up. And I don't know if it's going to be a cliffhanger. They're going to end the Easter portion of it, but we're probably going to have some characters that we don't know what happens to exactly. And that is going to kind of piss me off, like it did the first season, the end of the first season, because Smoothie disappeared. We didn't know what happened. Sunny Shine disappeared. We didn't know what happened really. We got away with it, but we didn't know exactly what happened. So, yeah, there we go. Filthy News says, check out my new news video when you get a chance. Yeah, I will. Definitely. Um, yeah, it's they really need to come up with these stories a little bit better, work on something, because it really does seem like they didn't know what they were doing at first, or they kind of had an idea at first. They lost track of what they were doing about midway through. So about 4 episodes, they spun their wheels, and then they're like, "Oh wait, here's what the story is," and then started doing this other story that was kind of attached to the first part of the season, and but wasn't. I don't know. So yeah, I don't think it's going to get renewed, to tell you the truth. One, it's SyFy, and SyFy cancels everything because it's part of NBC, and NBC cancels anything that has science fiction attached to it. That's part of NBC's motto. And two, it's got really bad ratings. And it's getting worse from what I understand. The ratings are going down. So, yeah, exactly. But so, with that said, um if you want to see what I'm going to be presenting next, you can go to suspendedfanimation.com and you can see my schedule. My schedule is up there for the week. I only go a week ahead of time. I don't go any farther than that because I don't know what I'm going to be doing from week to week. So there we go. Um, I also have it up on my Facebook page, and I also have a Twitter account and a Instagram as well. Oh, I also have a Patreon as well, but I don't have the tier set up as of yet. So you can go and take a look at it. There is a post there, but it's just suspended fan. Excuse me, www.patreon.com/suspended fanimation, all one word. There we go. Joker says SyFy was okay a couple of years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, but yeah, it hasn't been in the last decade, quite honestly. Mark says, well, if they do season 3, I propose Thanksgiving with a psycho turkey. Yeah, or mutant turkeys, that kind of thing. That would work. Stormy Scott says, Penn actually watches the show. Her comments make sense. Yeah. Penn Farm Girl says SyFy channel was good, has been all downhill since the name change. Yeah, when they moved over to the SyFy. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, Arbor Day. Yeah, they could do Arbor Day. I mean, there are quite a few holidays they could do. I mean, SyFy rhymes with iffy. Yeah, but I'm not holding out hopes about this getting renewed. Quite honestly, a lot of people have dropped off of it. I even see it on my reviews that I'm doing here, that people really aren't really interested in it too much anymore. Yeah, Halloween would be way too predictable. You know what they need to do? Um, Speaking of comics, which would be awesome, and Halloween, is there was a great series called Hack Slash about a girl who ends up surviving a serial killer, if you will. But the serial killer is kind of immortal in a way, and it's it's kind of a play on like Halloween and stuff like that, where you have all these immortal bad guys, and she ends up becoming a killer of these serial killers of like Freddy and Jason and all that kind of stuff. So more and more of these almost supernatural creatures are coming out of the woodwork, and she ends up just kind of roaming the countryside killing these things. Yeah, it would have been awesome if they can ever get it off the ground. I think it's still in print. I think they still are doing the comic. If it, I believe it's Dark Horse. I want to say. I think it is. Yeah, Freddy's Dream Warriors were solid. What about President's Day? God, we'll do Secretary's Day. How about that? They can do Secretary's Day next. Um, yeah. So with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go. Like I said, it wasn't the best of episodes, it wasn't the worst of episodes, but it set up a whole bunch of new stuff, which we're never gonna get to see. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. And with that said, if you're still on the fence also about subscribing, by the way, you're going to see a video that's going to pop up here. It's going to take a video from my video library and pop it up in this section. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button down below. The little button over here will take you back to the channel so you can take a look at more videos over there. Yes, it's right here. So that will take you over that way. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a good night. Thank you to everybody who joined me in the chat. Joker the Third, Mr. Roboto, Slurmy Scott, Pen Farm Girl, of course, Marks, and of course, Movie Fanobi for popping his head in the door and saying hi. So, oh, and the filthy news. I forgot the filthy news had come back too. There we go. So, with that said, good night, everybody. Take a look at the videos. Take a look at the channel button over there. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button and I will see you tomorrow for iZombie. Good night, everybody. Thanks, and don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up getting the meat of your story being told at the very end, which isn't good. Thanks, everyone. Good night.